Greetings, Japan fans. In today's show, we're looking at some very practical ideas on running meetings when we're doing them in the virtual world. Maishu arigatou gozaimasu, and welcome back to the Leadership Japan series. I'm your host in Tokyo, Dr. Greg Story, your corporate coaching and training guy, president of Dale Carnegie Training Japan, and best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery and Japan Business Mastery. We are broadcasting around the world from Minato-ku in the center of Tokyo, the leadership capital of Japan. Well, this podcast is focused recently on COVID-19, leading in the virtual environment, these sorts of very topical things. And if you have feedback on the show or preferences about particular topics you'd like me to speak about, then let us know. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share this podcast. We're doing podcasts every day, Monday to Friday. Mondays, we do the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. Tuesdays, we do the Presentation Japan series. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan series. And Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show. We are going to get into the show, but before we do that, our handy Japanese phrase today is, if you're asking someone to pick something or other, maybe between one or two things, you just simply say, dore. Please take your pick. Dore. Would you like this one or that one? Dore. Dore. Please select. Dore. Which one would you like to choose? Dore. 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 Very simple. Okay, well, this is episode number 354. And today we're talking about the nuts and bolts of running virtual meetings. Well, running meetings used to be pretty straightforward. We would all assemble in the meeting room, go through the agenda, and then get back to work. Now, people are sitting alone, operating at all different levels of adjustment to working in isolation. They are in all different family situations too, some of which can make concentrating on remote meetings very taxing. As the host of the meeting or as the leader of the meeting, you have a role to play. Start by making sure to welcome people by their name as they join the call. It can be simple. Welcome, Sachiko. Thanks for joining the meeting. Using people's names gives them a feeling of inclusion and comfort. Some people will join the meeting by phone, and the name won't necessarily pop up on the attendees list screen. If so, just ask who is joining by phone today, so you can connect the code for participation with the name of the person on the call. The worst combination is having some people on a speakerphone or on video while others are in the meeting room. For those joining remotely, the audio is always a problem. The video is never satisfactory either because it's hard to gauge reactions of the people in the room just by looking at them on your screen. The people gathered in the room ignore the audio delay issue and speak over the top of others. Even worse, they crack jokes in the room that those online cannot really hear or appreciate. When everyone is laughing and you couldn't hear what was being said, your feeling of being an outsider is magnified. Add in the language issues across English and Japanese, and you have a formula for plain aplenty. It would be better to have everyone online together, even if some are in the same office location. Make it a level playing field for all and save those stupid insider jokes for when we all gather together again. Noise online usually comes from people who are unmuted. This makes the communication difficulty factor rise, and so do people's tempers. Rustling papers, side conversation, dogs barking, etc. We all know how annoying this can be. The host needs to be aware of needing people to mute and to remind those who forget or are unaware they are not muted. Be polite and sympathetic, but stop proceedings and call on them to mute themselves. If they had any social awareness, they would already be muted, so we are dealing with the unaware rather than the uncaring. People join the meetings at different times and are often late because they may have had technical issues connecting to the call, Audio is often the culprit, and we have to log in numerous times until the tech god smiles in our favour and lets us join. Finally, we can hear what is going on rather than trying to lip-read the proceedings. We have to get going at the appointed time and not wait for people to join. We must also educate people to join the call 15 minutes early to be able to provide a buffer so that people can log in. Find out more. We come back from the break. Today's show is brought to you by our public courses, but we also do custom in-house programs. We do these in Japanese and English. We do them online as well, live online. Today's show is sponsored by a free stress management live online program. April 16th, Japanese version. April 17th, English version. So to get onto those programs, register, just go to our website, enjapan.dalecarnegie.com. You can also email me, greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. You may be sitting around with lots of time on your hands these days. You'd like to do some self-education. We've got over 900 free videos on our website, Japan Dale Carnegie TV. Check those out. We're adding 2 TV shows every week. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show comes out on Mondays. That's the premier business show on business in Japan. And Fridays we do the Japan Business Mastery Show. You can also get my books to read up while you're sitting around at home, probably not working as much as normal. Japan Sales Master, my other book, Japan Business Mastery. You get both those on Amazon. Welcome back to the show. So meetings need an agenda, and usually some records are being kept either in writing or by recording the meeting. Preferably, the agenda items to be discussed will have been distributed already so people can bring their ideas to the meeting. If it is a regular meeting, the leader needs to remind everyone of the point of the meeting to get alignment on expectations from the meeting. The meeting opening is just like any other presentation in that it competes with a lot of noise going on in the head of the attendees. They are 100% fully occupied with things in their own world when they join the meeting, and the leader needs to break through all that clutter and get everyone focused. A strong opening is required that gets people to stop what they are doing and pay attention to what is being said. Distracting multitasking is a plague in its own right during online meetings. Don't leave things to random good luck. Instead, plan the opening well. Hiding during meetings is also a function of disengagement. It happens in real life as people sit there and don't contribute, so it happens in the online world as well. The leader's job is to get everyone engaged and paying attention. Because of the audio connection issues and varying internet stability, it is a good idea to be concise, avoid long monologues, and check for understanding regularly. If there is a slideshow involved online, then the same standard presentation rules apply. Keep the ratio to 1 idea per slide. Go Zen-like minimalist in slide design terms, and work on the assumption that if the viewer cannot get the key point within 2 seconds, then the slide needs to be reworked and simplified. Often, taking individual pieces of the content and breaking them off onto a separate slide will work wonders for increasing clarity. Tech products like WebEx and Zoom allow many more features than in the past. Breakout rooms, whiteboards, polls, chat boxes are some of the ways people can communicate online. If we were in a physical room, we might break into small groups to discuss a subject, and now this is also possible when working remotely. The system also allows us to call on people for their input, just as we would in a typical meeting room. In Japan, it is a good idea to let people know this could happen, and that just sitting there listening isn't an option. It is always good to flag what is going to happen so that everyone has some mental breathing room to prepare to participate. For example, in a moment, I'm going to invite some feedback. When people want to contribute, they need to introduce who is speaking. For example, when about to make a point, say, Greg here, or Greg from Tokyo here, sometimes it is difficult to know who is speaking, and often the people in the meeting may not know each other, so they can't identify all the other participants by voice. Regular meetings need to be held, and they need to complete their function to inform, coordinate, and plan. Keep the cadence of the meetings you held before, because the temptation is to drop them because things are now different. The driving reasons for holding meetings at all have not changed, and so the continuity is important. Thank you for joining the Leadership Japan series. If you found the program useful, and tell your family, friends and colleagues, don't forget to rate, review, subscribe and share this podcast. You can contact me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. We have got lots of stuff for you. Information on those 2 free stress management programs are at our website, enjapan.dalecarnegie.com. Well, until the next episode, keep safe, keep well, take what you thought valuable, put into action. Idea application is what makes winners winners, and also survivors survivors. So let's all be one of them. Remember, I'm your corporate coaching and training guy here to help you survive in your business.